There is a cave beneath Mexico where crystals grow larger than trees. Some stretch more than 11 meters through the darkness. They weigh tens of tons, and they formed in a place so hostile that simply standing inside can become dangerous. The air is brutally hot. The humidity is extreme. Sweat can no longer cool you effectively. Without specialized protection, the clock starts ticking almost as soon as you enter. And for hundreds of thousands of years, no human being even knew this place existed. Then miners broke through a wall and discovered something that looked less like Earth and more like another planet. This is Dark Atlas. Beneath the Chihuahuan Desert in northern Mexico lies the Naica mine. For generations, miners came here for something far more ordinary, valuable deposits of lead, zinc, and silver. Then, in the year 2000, miners excavating a tunnel, approximately 300 meters underground, broke into a chamber unlike anything they had seen before. Their lights illuminated enormous translucent beams crossing the cavern. Some rose from the floor, others stretched from wall to wall. They looked almost artificial, but these weren't pillars. They were crystals, gypsum crystals, among the largest natural crystals ever documented. Some reached approximately 11 meters in length and weighed tens of tons. The miners had accidentally opened the Cueva de los Cristales, the Cave of the Crystals, but there was a problem. This extraordinary place was never designed for human visitors. Temperatures inside the cave have been reported around 48 degrees Celsius, roughly 118 degrees Fahrenheit, with humidity around 90%. In conditions like these, sweat cannot evaporate efficiently, and evaporation is one of the body's primary methods of releasing heat. Your core temperature begins climbing, breathing becomes exhausting, thinking becomes harder, and without protection, exposure can become dangerous remarkably quickly. Researchers therefore developed specialized protective equipment, including cooling suits, to extend the amount of time they could safely work inside. They weren't simply exploring a beautiful cave. They were conducting science inside an environment actively trying to drive them out. The obvious question was, how could crystals possibly grow this large? The answer began millions of years before humans arrived. Volcanic activity beneath Naica heated groundwater and helped create deposits of anhydrite, a mineral closely related to gypsum. As the underground system slowly cooled toward a critical temperature range, the chemistry began to change. Anhydrite dissolved, calcium and sulfate entered the surrounding water, and gypsum began crystallizing. Normally, crystals encounter changing temperatures, changing chemistry, or disturbances that limit their growth. Naica was different. The environment remained extraordinarily stable. The crystals grew underwater, incredibly slowly, for immense periods of time. The unusual hydrothermal conditions allowed the crystals to reach dimensions rarely seen anywhere else on Earth. Naica wasn't a crystal factory. It was something far rarer, a geological environment where nature had almost unlimited patience. And those crystals contained more than beauty. They contained information. Tiny pockets of ancient fluid became trapped inside the gypsum as it grew. Scientists could study those inclusions like microscopic time capsules. Research on Naica's crystals has helped scientists understand ancient groundwater conditions and environmental changes. Other investigations have examined evidence associated with microorganisms within the Naica underground system. That doesn't mean giant crystals were filled with monsters or some unknown underground civilization. It means something far more scientifically interesting. Places that appear completely isolated can preserve traces of chemistry, water, and biological activity across enormous stretches of time. Every crystal was more than a mineral. It was an archive. There is another strange part of this story. Humans weren't really supposed to see the cave in this condition. The giant crystals originally developed underwater. Mining operations pumped groundwater away from the working levels of the mine. As the water level dropped, the chamber was exposed. For a brief period in geological history, humans could enter. Scientists photographed it, measured it, sampled it, and tried to understand how something so extraordinary could exist. But exposing the cave also changed the environment that created it. The crystals that had spent immense periods submerged in remarkably stable conditions were suddenly surrounded by air. Humanity hadn't merely discovered the cave, we had interrupted it. Then the window began to close. After mining operations ceased, groundwater was allowed to return. The crystal chamber was once again flooded. Think about what that means. One of Earth's most extraordinary natural environments still exists, but much of it is once again hidden beneath water and rock. There is no tourist line, no observation deck, no easy expedition. The photographs captured during exploration may be the closest most humans will ever come to standing among these giants. The Cave of the Crystals is easy to describe as another wonder of the natural world, but that almost misses the point. These crystals exist because an extraordinary combination of heat, water, minerals, and time remained balanced long enough for nature to create something almost impossible. Human civilization appeared thousands of years after that process had already begun. We entered for only a moment. We took measurements. We photographed what we found. And then the water returned. Somewhere beneath the desert of northern Mexico, enormous crystals once again sit in darkness. No crowds, no cameras, no sunlight, just water, stone, and geological time. Maybe that's what makes Naica extraordinary. We didn't create it. We couldn't survive there for long. And we were never really meant to see it. Every place has a secret. This is Dark Atlas.